The truth is this. So I knew it was coming. I absolutely not knew it was coming because of how orchestrated it was. The only thing, and I'll state this at the beginning, the only reason I'm upset by being canceled is because I've expired one of my lives. Because first you get canceled, then they make up a reason to put you in jail, and if that fails, they kill you. So now I'm down to my last 2 lives, which is also why while I'm answering this question, I'm still being careful how I'm answering it. I'm not telling you. They've given me the warning, and I'm still running my mouth.
Yeah.
So that's scary.
The reason I call it the Matrix is because a false reality is being projected onto humanity, and they do that by controlling narrative. The news told you X, and now you are desperate. You will sit here for hours arguing that point. No, but I saw the news. A lot of people are completely empty vessels ready to be programmed. The things they're telling you to believe are not necessarily for your benefit.
You can't control anything besides what you think. So why are you not controlling your own mind? It's your asset. It's your ally. It's your friend. Why would you make an enemy out of the only thing you have control over?
Hello out there, everybody. How's everybody doing? Is everybody still conservative in New York? Christopher Wright. All right, everybody. Hope happy New Year's, everybody. You know, or New Year's Eve so far, but happy holidays. Hope you guys have been enjoying the holidays with you and your family. Glad to get back to you with another video. Let me go ahead and get started. Now, as you guys saw at the beginning of that intro video there, that was a gentleman by the name of Andrew Tate. I'm sure by now a lot of people out there in the social media world have heard about this man. He's making a lot of commotion out there. Recently, he was arrested for going back and forth with Greta Thunberg, and they're saying that he has a history of sex trafficking, and because he has like a cam girl website or something like that. I'll get into that, but I just kind of want to pray you guys that brief intro. I really learned about this guy for like the last couple of weeks. I don't know too much about him myself. I just seen him in passing. I've been watching different videos like by Jordan Lee Peterson or something like that, clips from him and videos about misogyny or male masculinity and stuff like that, and he'll come up and come in for like a few words, and they don't really say his name, and I'm kind of like, that guy, when he came up with recently, I knew he looked familiar, and I heard his name in passing, but I really didn't get a chance to look into him at all. So when this whole thing with Greta Thunberg recently happened, I said, okay, let me do my research because I know the mainstream media is going to take this and run with it. They're already accusing this guy of being like, holding women hostage for sex trafficking and, all this stuff like this. And all I got to say is the timing. What a coincidence, and I'm not a big fan of coincidence when there's anything that's even close to politics. So, that's, like I said, I'm going to get to that. I just want to kind of touch up on the intro, and I wanted to see what he, talk about what he mentioned about when it comes to the Matrix. He mentions in that intro a lot about thinking outside the box. How we're living in the Matrix, like a world that's pre-programmed for us, pretty much, where we get up, we take a bath, brush our teeth, go to work, pay the bills, raise a family if we have a family, just go through routine over and over and over and over again, and we don't even realize that we're being like led to like sheep to slaughter in a way, what I mean? And I think there's a little bit of truth to that, and then I've been researching him for the last couple of days, and some of his statements I really agree with, when it comes, stuff he says related to, male masculinity and business and, victimhood mentality and stuff like that. And, not playing victim, stuff like that. So there's things that I relate to. There's some things that, I don't fully agree with him on. And, he's a very, I can see a lot of people on the left aren't big fans of him, obviously, especially feminists. But, I can kind of see why, because like you said, Personally, I'm not that person. I don't see him as intimidating or brash or harsh, but I know men, individuals, especially men, who are like Trump and this gentleman Andrew Tate. They really, the left can't take it. The left can't stand them. They like their men in beta form with the legs crossed with a lispy voice. Yeah. That's how they like their so-called men, and that is a problem that's going on in the country. In my opinion, there's too many beta males out there. We're feminizing society too much. Feminizing our military, things that, should be strong from the grassroots all the way up. They're trying to weaken. And you weaken that fabric of society, then it's going to eventually crumble. And the great nations before America, we have seen it happen before. So there's nothing new under the sun. History repeats. You feminize country, you're going to have problems. But there's quite a few things I want to discuss with that. He mentioned in that intro as well, the 3-strike rule. He said, he's been going against the establishment for a while now, and he says there's 3 strikes. He said the first strike is they try to cancel you. The second strike, they try to put you in jail. Third strike, they try to kill you. So he said he's on the second strike now, which is getting arrested. And recently he just got arrested. That interview was right before he got arrested. Now he's been arrested. So I guess, he's technically, by his point of view, on his second strike. And why, you might be asking, Chris, why is he on his second strike? What has this guy been saying? What's this guy been doing? To be honest with you, the research that I've been doing from him so far, the only thing I can say, I mean, I don't, like I said, I don't know this guy's background like that. I haven't done all the fine details of looking into this guy. But, from what I'm seeing, there's nothing really set in stone. I know he runs like a kind of like a cam girl internet site thing, you see that are online or whatever. And they're trying to use that to say he's doing sex trafficking via that. And I know how the radical left, I know how the mainstream media, I know how the establishment on both sides, I know how all of it works. When they want to get you, they'll find anything that you're doing and they'll find a way to twist the narrative just enough so they can say, oh, look, see, he's committing a crime. I mean, look what he did with Trump, with, the whole situation with Russiagate and all that. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. So I'm not going to be first to jump the gun and say this guy's immediately guilty. Of course, now, if he is guilty, I'm not going to be standing behind him. I'm not going to be supporting him. If he did anything, to hurt women or, just anything like that to physically harm or, anything like that to women, I don't support that at all. I'm not a fan of that at all. I'll make that very clear. But until evidence, until proven guilty, that's the way I'm going to look at it. And, of course, you need facts and evidence for that to occur. So I'm going to play it by ear, keep my eyes peeled, and I'll, keep up to date with everything. And if that is the case, then of course, I'm not going to support him. I'm going to step away from the whole situation. But there are a lot of women listeners who support me, and I really appreciate what you do, ladies. And there is something I really want to ask you personally. Leave a comment in the comment section. I want to play a clip that he had recently from an interview with Piers Morgan. And this is one of the reasons why I think they are coming after him so seriously, because of the way he's talking about feminism and misogyny, and also how he's going after the whole global warming nonsense and all that Green New Deal BS as well. So I think all that that's of course it's going to get said as being anti-establishment, because the people who are pushing that narrative are the members of the establishment, including Greta Thunberg. Even though people might remember her as a little girl, she is now technically an adult. I think she's around 19, 20 years old now. So get the little girl image out of your head. And she's been pushing that narrative. So she's a little girl from her Green New Deal pushing, narrative pushing parents, making her push it. So a lot of times the left does that when it comes to minorities, when it comes to women, when it comes to, people in certain religious sects, whatever it may be. They'll put them out there knowing that they can be paid off so they can push a narrative. But this clip, ladies, I want to play next is the one from Piers Morgan. And again, it's talking about misogyny, toxic masculinity. Please leave your comments in the comment section. I want to hear what your thoughts are and what he has to say on this.
You think you're a misogynist?
Absolutely not. I'm not a misogynist on any level. This is one of those buzzwords they just throw at people randomly. Homophobic, racist, misogynist, they just throw it out at people.
What is your view of women?
I'm a realist.
What is your real view of women?
I absolutely not really love women. I adore women. I have good relationships with women. Not a single woman has come up to me on the street since I've been canceled. Not a single one has said anything negative. Every single one of them has said positive things. You're a traditional male. I wish more men were like you. You understand your masculine roles. You understand what you're supposed to do. You understand you're supposed to protect women. You're exactly the kind of man I'd be looking for. I've never had a negative interaction with a female ever since I've been dubbed the biggest misogynist.
Where is the...
Please let me finish. I'm sorry, Piers. Also, there's not been a single woman who's accused me of a crime, not a single woman who's accused me of rape, not a single woman who's come out and said anything from my entire past of 36 years I've done anything wrong ever. Anybody else with my level of fame, any footballer, any other movie star, at least has people who've come out and accused them of rape, X, Y, Z. I have no woman who's come out and ever said I've hurt her, no woman who's come out and ever said I've done damage to her or been horrible to her. Everybody who ever interacted with me has said I've been a nice person. All of them. So this random Twitter nobody who seems to know so much is full of...
All right, you've responded to her tweet.
Yeah, she's a liar.
But here's what
Wow. So you saw him and good old Pierce had a little back and forth there. But yeah, I recommend watching the whole entire interview between him and Pierce. It was a good interview when, Pierce was doing what he does best. He was trying to corner him sometimes and, in a certain, like I said, the buzzwords, everything like that. Where you consider yourself misogynist. And I like how he pointed out as soon as Pierce said that, you try to use your buzzwords, like how to use homophobe and, Islamophobe or whatever they want to use for that day or whatever, transphobe or whatever. And that's what I always talk about with the left. They try to do to you. The first thing they try to do is they try to label you. Because if they get in a debate with somebody on the left, or you get in an argument with somebody on the left, or you get in a disagreement with somebody on the left, the first thing they try to do is label you. And when they can label you, they can put you in a box. And when they can put you in a box, that's when they have control. And he pointed that out when it comes to, are you misogynist? So he already called Pierce and what Pierce tried. Of course, Pierce was trying to put him in the kind of label in a box where it's like, haha, see, this guy is misogynist. Told you so, that kind of thing. So, Andrew wasn't having it, and that is what it is. But ladies, I want to hear what your thoughts were. How do you think he came off in that interview? So that little clip, there's more of the interview. I recommend you guys see the whole interview. But what are your thoughts of his stance and women think similar to him when it comes to misogyny, when it comes to the whole toxic masculinity thing? He mentioned in his past, he mentioned women he dated in the past, and there's not one of them that were, because a lot of them were questioned. Because I saw the whole interview and they supposedly were questioned and offered money to, of course, say negative things or push a narrative in terms of Andrew. And they said there was no women that came out. He said, how many men on my level with this, this level of celebrity can say that they have no skeletons in their closet when it comes to the ex-women they dated? So, I respect him for not, hiding from that point and not trying to say, trying to avoid it or anything like that. He said, hey, want to dig in my past? Go ahead. So, that's good to know that he's willing, he's open to, for that possibility. But, what I really think that's one of what the whole stance on male masculinity and everything is one of the biggest reasons they're coming after him, especially since what happened with the whole Greta Thunberg thing. And, and I've seen it in the past, like a guy, Brendan Strock from Walkaway, who's a friend of mine who, I started out the whole Walkaway movement with him. The whole January 6th situation, he got in trouble for just being around the front door of the Capitol. He didn't go in or anything like that, but they, arrested him and everything, and had to go to court and all this whole nine because of the fact he was just nearby. And the fact of the matter was, it's the fact that he was somebody they were trying to get for a long time, being a gay conservative, starting a movement, telling people to walk away from the Democratic Party and vote Republican and everything like that. He was a big threat to the establishment. So the first chance they could get him, they got him. And I saw him do the same thing with Andrew Tate. So I'm not saying he's guilty or innocent, but you're innocent until proven guilty. If there's facts and evidence proving that this man's guilty, I would no longer stand beside him or support him or anything like that. It is what it is. I don't support any man who abuses women in any kind of way, shape, or form. So I'll make that very clear. But again, I don't trust the mainstream media either. So when they come out with a narrative and they're saying this is what happened, this is what occurred, that's the last person people I want to hear. I need to hear more information before my mind comes to any kind of conclusion. And that's just because of what happened in the past with mainstream media. They've been proven liars time and time and time again. So it's hard for this to believe with the coincidence of this. The man who got arrested, like I said again, the coincidence of the timing of it and the individual he was going against. All of a sudden, he says one reply back, and he was arrested. And let's look at the little back and forth they had here. I got the tweet here. And as you guys can see, it starts off, like I said, there's a video clip. And in the clip, he's just, like I said, he's pumping gas to, his Bugatti. And he's saying in the video, oh, look, hey, Greta took his out. I got 30 cars. I'm it's first bragging about his money, just nothing, didn't say anything personal or nothing, sexual, nothing crazy like that. But then she responds back with, yes, please do enlighten me. Email me at smalldeenergy@getalife.com. What the heck? So yeah, folks, that's what Greta said back. Look, I don't support any kind of, you guys see my channel long enough. I don't even cuss in my personal videos, you know what I mean? And so this girl talking something sexual with this guy. I mean, look, and the left loved it. Oh man, you guys would have saw Twitter, you guys would have saw social media after she made this tweet. They would have gave her, a lifetime achievement award. They could have. But that's leftist hypocrisy. And if they use the other way around and he was saying something sexually degrading to her, yeah, it will be all over the news. So they had this little back and forth. And so after this tweet, he comes out and he does a video with another short video clip. I don't have the clip here, but just to get a gist of it, he's just pretty much talking smack to Greta again, like oh, you want to talk about my small D, talk about small D energy or whatever, and and he takes little shots back at her, nothing too personal, nothing sexual at all, nothing like that. And literally, then right after this video, he's arrested. SWAT comes to his house, he gets arrested. And it's like the timing of it. Again, the coincidence. I don't believe in coincidence or anything close to politics. And as soon as he does this, video clip, all of a sudden it's like the SWAT team's at his house. So it's just hard for me to believe that it just happened to be that way. Like they were just searching for him for this much long, and what supposedly gave him away was those 2 pizza boxes you guys saw sitting there. Those they had like a business, a Romanian pizza company business on the side there with a phone number and everything like that. So that's the information they used to arrest him. So they're trying to claim that he was like on the run or whatever. But, he was doing videos in the past with him in Romania. He wasn't trying to hide the fact that he was in Romania in the past. He was traveling from the United States back to Romania, back and forth, back and forth. There was no, situation where you can look at it and say, yeah, he was trying to avoid somebody or something or trying to avoid the police force in some kind of way. There was nothing that proved that. But they're trying to say that's what occurred. Oh, he was on the run and, we found him hiding, and we found him with his Romanian pizza boxes. So they made this like this, crazy narrative of, trying to catch this like kind of spy thing with pizza boxes, and, what a coincidence. Again, the time is Ratcher, he gets in his back and forth with Greta Thunberg, who is like, the queen, of the Green New Deal, you know what I mean? And this is, again, if this was the case, this is what I got to ask is if you guys found him so quickly, this evil, corrupt, sex trafficking kind of individual, what's with the deal with Jeffrey Epstein? How many years was this guy had, on Epstein Island with different celebrities, athletes, politicians? The list goes on and on and on and on and on. And this guy was allowed to go free for how long when you guys knew what he was up to? And then when he gets arrested, he's able to somehow commit suicide, with nobody watching. And, of course, all the information that he had, hidden for all these years is now, we can't find it. We can't have access to it. What are we supposed to do? So when it comes to, politicians, Bill Clinton's of the world, Bill and Hillary, in her own way, not even sexual, but, other ways, had their issues, and yet nobody ever gets in trouble. But this Andrew Tate guy, boom, heartbeat. As soon as he does a video, talking about Greta Thunberg and puts a pizza box out there, they're able to discover what his, supposed criminal is at. And, I want to play you guys, for the last clip I have is the raid they had when they had his house. And I want you to hear what he says when they, after he's been arrested and they're bringing him out after, the arrest.
As part of a probe into suspected human trafficking, organised crime and rape. All 4 suspects will be held for 30 days while investigations continue. The detainees have already appealed the extension. Video footage from the police raid shows several blurred out sports cars, wads of cash and a handgun. The British national and former kickboxer has previously been banned from various social media platforms for his controversial statements and hate speech. Just hours before his arrest, Tate was embroiled in an online spat with Greta Thunberg.
Why do you say the words? Are the accusations realistic? Are you guilty?
Atenție la mașini, vă rugăm.
The Matrix has attacked me.
Appreciate it.
All right. So that was after the SWAT team came and arrested him. And the other gentleman you saw with him was his brother. So they were both arrested and detained. Further information we're waiting for. And so, like I said, it's just a funny coincidence. As soon as he goes after Greta, they are at his house. And they have all these claims of him with sex trafficking and everything like that, even though he's been arrested in the past and was cleared. So if this guy was his big-time sex trafficker, I think the first time they arrested him, they would have, put him in handcuffs and put him in, jail for quite a bit of time. But they didn't. I'm not saying he's totally innocent. Again, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if this guy is who he's claimed to be, why did they let him loose the first time? That's all I'm saying. So, just everybody stay tuned with everything. Like I said, you saw what he said to the cameramen that were recording him. He said, I've been captured by the Matrix. So I guess he's saying this is his second strike with him being arrested. The third strike is death. So, I don't wish death upon any human being. So that's not what I'm here to speak on or anything like that. But I just want to show you guys the information. Let you guys come to your own conclusion about Andrew Tate, because, you know, it's just very interesting. You know, we saw this happen in the past with people like Donald Trump. And, you know, I'm not saying like, you know, say like this guy's totally innocent. Like I said, I need to have more information on him. I've been researching it for the last couple of days. Found out about him a couple of weeks ago. I agree on a lot of the things he speaks on when it comes to certain topics, but I don't agree with everything. And like I said, if this guy does have some skeletons in his closet, then he needs to serve his time. You know, I don't support any human being committing crime, but yet they push a narrative that I support, so they should be able to be set free or get away with it. I don't support that at all. So that's my stance on this matter. Remember, please, if you enjoy the content, to like, subscribe, and share. And like always, God bless everybody out there listening, and may God bless the United States of America. Peace out.